Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be talking about the tier 10 tech tree Pan-Asian destroyer, the Yueyang. And as this is my final video in the Road to Yueyang series, yeah, I guess I've just completed the grind now since I'm at the Yueyang. So, starting off, the Yueyang has 3 engine boost 1s. Why can't I click on this? Okay, there we go. So, this just increases your speed by a bit for 25 seconds. You also get 2 smoke 2s, which is on the less smoke size, I guess, for tier 10 destroyers, because most of them usually have around like 3 or more. You also get 2 radar 2s to help, radar 1s to help spot the enemies, and you get 2 torpedo reload booster 2s. For your battle honors, there's win 20 battles, capture 45 control zones, destroy 40 enemy battleships, cause 60 floods, and do 120k damage. So the Yueyang is, well, let's look through the stats. So first of all, you get 90k HP, which is like pretty average for a not gunboat destroyer, not gun focused. And yeah, your stats are about, your defense is on average. Your maneuverability, 35.8 is on like a bit of the slower side compared to other destroyers, but that's why you have engine boost 1 to help you. Your acceleration and turning they're all decent, just standard destroyer stuff. And looking at the guns, you have, with my build, you have a 3.42 second reload, or normally it's around 3.6, and you have 6 127s, so almost 400 damage on HE with a 3% fire chance and 424 damage on the AP. So these guns are just like the Gearing's guns basically, but they're slightly longer to reload. You have 10 torpedoes, and they reload in 68 seconds, and they have 4.7k alpha on each of them, with a 9.6 km torpedo range and a 30% flood chance. So, and your AA is basically non-existent, and your concealment's at 5.8 km, which is pretty good. So as this is a Pan-Asian destroyer, the main unique thing about it are deep water torpedoes, which basically cannot hit enemy destroyers, but they're harder to spot. And in general, especially on the Yueyang, compared to the Gearing, because this is basically a Gearing clone, you have faster torpedoes, higher flood chance, and higher alpha on the torpedoes, but the reload is like about 8 seconds longer. So in terms of the build, first of all, for the elite bonus, I ran advanced gun director so that I can farm enemy battleships from slightly further away. You could also go advanced torpedo to slightly buff your torpedo damage and your flood chance, but it's either or, it doesn't really matter. For the camo, I don't have the H camo, but it's a standard destroyer camo, which means it's good because it gives gun range, torpedo range, turning, and also service detection, which is really important. So for equipment, supplies, you go high grade coal, improved crew rations, and refined diesel, all the standard stuff because you want to go concealment. Equipment, you go reload because torpedo traverse really does not matter. Propulsion as usual in second slot, and third slot concealment because you want to be able to be stealthy and undetected. My commander here, first I took emergency response, then torpedo alert, then preheating for more speed, victorious charge because there's nothing better here, daredevil because I like to take daredevil on destroyers because it means when you get to low HP you can run away better and have better turning basically, and hopefully this will help you get away and go back concealed. Exploit weakness, you can take generalist here because exploit weakness honestly doesn't really do anything, but might as well. Fully prepared because nothing better. Mistweaver, very important because you only have 2 smokes, so you gotta make sure they actually work well, you know. And I took engine overload here to boost your engine boost. Honor seeker here for more damage when you get a medal, and APCS because IFHE is basically useless. So going on, you want level 12, you probably want Giant Hunter, and you probably want to go down the red tree. So you can either go hide and seek or speed search for the next one. I don't think it really matters, but I'd probably go speed search just to help boost the torpedoes because minus 3% detection, I don't really care about. And then for the third one, the last skill here, you probably go readiness because you get some decent torpedo hits in this thing. So that was the build for the Yueyang, but now we're going to talk about the playstyle. So the Yueyang is the tier 10 destroyer for Pan-Asian ships. So basically it's torpedo focused because it is deep waters, but you can't hit enemy destroyers. So how I like to think about it is it's basically a Shima, but you can actually do more stuff with your guns rather than just be solely focused on torpedoes. Another way you can also treat it is it's a torpedo focused Gearing because your stats are quite similar to Gearing, but in my opinion Yueyang is more interesting because Gearing is it's around the same speed, all that stuff. But your torpedoes, like in the gearing, they move like 62 knots, so they're pretty slow. While Yueyangs move faster, and also Yueyangs do more damage. So since the Yueyang also has that radar, I find it more interesting personally. So yeah, but since you also have that torpedo really booster, it's really helpful nuking stuff out. So that's why you can also be like kind of like a Shima sometimes. So about the grind for the Yueyang, now that I'm done the entire thing, let's see. So first few tiers, they're just standard low tier stuff, doesn't matter. Let's start tier 6. So the Fushan, this ship is really strong. It's basically a Gnevny, which is like one of the best gunboats at this tier for destroyers, and you basically actually have like good torpedoes. So you have like 6 torpedoes with decent range that do like decent damage. Yeah, 3.8k. So yeah, Fushan is very strong. Gajamada here, it's basically like similar to the Fushan. You but your torpedoes, you have like 10 of them now. So this thing is definitely like probably the most torpedo focused in the entire line, and it's probably the, like honestly the worst one in my opinion, because you basically only have your torpedoes, and otherwise your guns, they're mediocre at best because they're just like probably the worst guns at the tier. Tier 8 Shenyang, I played this thing before they gave it to TRB. Even after TRB, it's very strong. Before it was still very strong. Yeah, good destroyer overall. Definitely much better than the Benson in my opinion, because your torpedoes do more damage and they're easier to use. Or just don't aim at the enemy destroyers basically. Changmu here, I actually enjoyed this ship a lot more than I thought I would. So yeah, even though it's tier 9, I think it plays much better than Fletcher, because 1, you get the TRB and you also get the radar, and also your torpedoes are also like I said earlier, faster. And then finally Yueyang. So Yueyang used to be pretty bad because they didn't have the TRB or anything, but ever since they gave it the buff, it's been pretty decent in my opinion. And not that I played it before, but that's what I'm guessing. But if it were to be buffed again, one thing I'd like to see is more smokes, like hopefully 3 smoke ones, because that'd be nice. So yeah, overall the grind for the Yueyang is pretty good. I'd say Gajamada is probably the weak point in the line, and Fushan is definitely really strong for tier 6. But the Yueyang is also pretty good for this tier, so yeah. So for the playstyle of this thing, basically number 1 rule, shoot your torpedoes not at destroyers. You can shoot them at cruisers, battleships, carriers, doesn't matter. Just don't launch them at enemy destroyers. And also, when you're fighting enemy destroyers, when you're using AP, when they're trying to torpedo you, that extra time where they're not shooting at you can really actually help you give an advantage in gunfights. So don't be afraid to take enemy destroyers on. But just, the main thing is, remember that you can't hit them with torpedoes at close range. So if there's an enemy destroyer like rushing you down, trying to torpedo you at point blank, make sure you start running away, because you don't have any defensive capabilities against that. Otherwise, yeah, it's the Yueyang. We're gonna move on to the games now, and yeah, enjoy the clips. Guys, so in the first game here, we're against a Vermont, Worcester, Nevsky, Venezia, and Triple Shima, and we're on Chain Epicenter. So as you can see by this game, both teams only have 1 battleship, and then there's like 3 destroyers on the enemy team, so there's not very much damage here. So yeah, we'll see what I can do in this game. So first I'm just gonna pop the engine boost at the beginning, because since I have 3 of them, might as well use one to get into a good position initially. And with preheating, I'm going at 43.3. But this is also with the speed camo, that was like plus 6% speed that they handed out like last month I think, or this month. So that's why I'm going so fast, or faster than normal. So you can see there's Triple Shima on the enemy team, so that's not the best, but oh well, we'll make do. So since I don't have torpedoes that can hit enemy destroyers, nor do I have like really good guns for destroyer like knife fighting, like the Z52. Normally I don't go into the center of this map. I usually like to stick in the outer ring and go on the side here. And you could launch like torpedoes into like the center area, like pre-launch. But since I have deep waters and they take a while to reload, I don't really like to do that, because I don't think cruisers will get there that quickly anyways. So yeah. So right now I just spotted Nevsky out here on the flank. So it seems like a pretty easy target right now, because Nevsky is good at long range, not close range. So if I can rush this guy, might be some free damage. And the other enemy spotted right now is a battleship, who's coming over this way is good. So I popped the radar to see if there's any destroyers around, and turns out I spot 2 Shimas and a Worcester, or I think somebody else spotted the Worcester. But as you said, there's 2 Shimas out here, so no point in trying to torp them. I'll just send them towards in direction Nevsky, but I won't use the TRB since I'm not sure if I'll hit him or not. And yeah, I'm just gonna come around the other side of the island so Nevsky can't hit me. And I think I'll just start like shooting at one of these Shimas. Yeah, this guy who's coming close here. So I want to be careful not to get rushed by this guy, because if he does, I got no self-defense mechanisms besides my guns, which won't kill him that quickly. So yeah. So Shima's going on the other side of the island, so Worcester can tank for me if Shima launches torpedoes. But there's also Shima coming from this side, so don't be afraid to use this ship's AP because it's actually pretty strong, or it's good against enemy destroyers, so yeah. Now I'm just shooting in this corner to see if Shima's here, but I don't think he is. And the other Shima seems to have smoked up, and I think they might be running away, so yeah, don't have to worry about them now for now. So since I can't see anybody else, I'm just going to start shooting at Nevsky. And since Nevsky is distracted, it's fine with me being detected. So now I switch over to HE and just start shooting at Nevsky. So with the advanced gun director, I get up to 9.27 for my gun range. I'm not sure what it is without that, but yeah. I just do that so I can like shoot at enemy battleships or like cruisers a bit more. Because one thing is, with these American shell arcs, hitting a destroyer at longer range is not that easy, but farming out a cruiser or battleship is still easy because they're easier to hit. So here comes the other Shima, and I'm just gonna go forward to get behind the island so that he can't shoot at me. Or, not shoot, sorry, he can't torpedo me. And it turns out both Shimas are here, so I think Worcester's gonna have a fun day. So, I just see this Vermont over here, and I'm like, yeah, he's running away, so I think I'll chase after him later, but let me help the Worcester deal with these Shimas first. So the Shima, one of the Shimas just tore up the Worcester to death, but they're right here on the island, so I know I gotta get rid of them since they're at low health. And I smoke up just in case they have any torpedoes so they can't do anything. And also because there's two cruisers right in front of me. And I see that Shima's in the smoke right in front of me. So Nevsky's over there too, but I don't think he's looking at me, so that's fine. And I think I should just blind fire the smoke here, but I'm not sure where Shima is, so gotta keep blind firing. Or maybe not. Yeah, my radar just came back, so I can use that. And so Shima was just sitting there the entire time. So I think if I just blind fired a bit better, then I wouldn't need to use radar. But this island hitbox is making it kind of annoying to kill Shima, so yeah. Oh, there we go, we got him. So at this point, the other Shima has buggered off onto the flank somewhere, and this Shima in center is like running away from my team, or they're giving me broadside, so I can shoot them a bit. But I see that Vermont is isolated at the corner of the map. I'm at 14k damage right now, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I want damage. So now I'm just using engine boost, and I decide to just chase after this guy to get some damage in, because he's basically full health, which means I can rush him. And Vermont is one of the best targets that you can rush because 30-second reload on big guns. So they can clap like more heavily armored destroyers, but Yueyang is pretty lightly armored, so should be fine. So most Vermonts usually wait until like you're broadside before they fire, but this guy just straight up fired, so I know like, okay, I don't need to be that worried because this guy just shoots whenever he's reloaded. So I'm just gonna keep shooting AP into steering for now because yeah, I'm just not so steering. Because I need to get closer. I don't trust myself to launch from like 6 km because Vermont has like pretty good steering, so you could actually just turn away from the torpedoes. So I'm just fully committing to the rush here. So I'm just getting closer and closer. Luckily Vermont is 1, slow, and 2, this guy isn't actually like running straight away from me, so that makes it much less annoying. And that salvo there actually did a decent amount of damage, but you know, nothing I can't heal up from. Gonna use all three pods of my torpedoes, and yeah, now it's time to run away. So you can see here, hit 15 torpedoes, but since Vermont's damage reduction is so good, each torpedo only did like 3k damage, so which means Vermont is still alive. That was only like 45k damage to full health Vermont. But luckily I got a permaflood, and that did some damage to him, plus my AP into the stern. So, and now I'm at 79k. So, I think rushing that Vermont was a good idea. And as you can see, these guns, while like they didn't do much each individual salvo, over time that AP, especially into the stern of that Vermont, really did rack up damage. So, I didn't expect the Shima to come all the way here, so I just smoke up, just in case they try to rush me. And yeah, now it's just time to shoot the Shima. And even though I'm at 6k HP, I'm pretty sure I can outgun this guy because I have my teammate helping me, and also like Shima's like not looking at me. I could aim a bit better though, since Shima's like going forwards and backwards, or just like stopping. Yeah, I don't know what this guy's doing. So I'm just trying to stay in my smoke so I don't lose any more HP than I need to. But with my teammate's support, it's very easy to kill Shima. And now they're full broadside to me, so this is easy. Bruh. And yeah, my other Shima killed him. So now I'm at 92k with 300 team points. And yeah. So there's a cruiser over there, but we're just cleaning up at this point because we're at 940 points. Like the enemies can't come back from this unless they kill all of us. So as you can see from this game, the Yueyang doesn't need to have multiple like torpedo strikes to do well. Just one good torpedo strike can really boost your damage. And also don't be afraid to use your guns because especially against those Shimas who I know I can outgun. And trust me, Shima's like one of the most played ship out there. So especially if you see any of them, just know that you can probably outgun them. Oh, and also that's not Venice, I think that's Venice. I think the Venice died at the beginning of the game. But now, yeah, we just capped out and we won. So yeah, just don't be afraid to use your guns in the Yueyang because especially that AP, and also I got MVP here, very cool. Because, well, this AP is actually quite good. And you don't have to solely focus on torpedo boat, you can also use your guns a good amount. as you can see, I did 45k gun damage and 43k torpedo. So you don't always have to use your guns to do damage, and don't be afraid to fight enemy destroyers. Hey guys, in the second game here, we're up against Incomp, Lepanto, Yodo, Venezia, Sea Devil, Kava, and Fletcher. My team, we have Duncan, Lepanto, Austin, Worcester, Somers, Smallwind, and myself, and we're on Domination on Friar's Lantern. So, since I spawned closer to A cap, I'm probably going to go there, and hopefully my team goes and gets beef, because that's our free cap. So, in this game, I see there's a Venezia, which is scary, and also Kava, which is a gunboat, so that's also scary. But Sea Devil is just a Shima, so I'm not really that scared of that, because I'm pretty sure I can outgun the Sea Devil. And the other Fletcher, was it Fletcher? I don't remember. It was just a random American destroyer, so it was a Fletcher, yeah. So I'm pretty sure I can outgun them too. So, as you can see here, I don't have the speed camo in this game, so I'm just going at 40 knots, which is like slower than the last game. So yeah, as you can see, Yueyang isn't really the fastest ship out there, but hey, at least it's faster than the battleship, right? So I think I go into A cap in this game because I don't see it getting capped out, but normally I wouldn't rush A cap like this if I knew the enemy destroyers were also rushing it. But in this game, I know I can outgun Fletcher and Sea Devil, and Kava has horrible detection, so I'm pretty sure I can just get A cap. And also I have a cruiser and a battleship backing up, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I spot Yodo right now, so might as well launch some torpedoes their direction. Am I? They're just pushing in. Yeah, so I'm just gonna launch some torpedoes their direction. If it doesn't hit them, hopefully it hits the guy behind them. Yeah. And I switched to HE because, yeah, I don't want to fight the Yodo. And I can see a Sea Devil coming here from B cap, so I'm gonna start opening up against them. And there's also some smoke. There's a smoke in the cap, which means Fletcher is here. Yeah. And that's one torpedo hit, 2 torpedo hits on Yodo, and now they're dead. So Fletcher here, he's just pushing into the cap. So I could have used radar on him, but knowing the average American destroyer player, he just leaves the smoke, so no need to use radar. And yeah, my team's just clapping him because we have Austin. So Fletcher's just dying, and here's his torpedoes, and we dodged them. So as you can see, I missed my style there, and not killing this Fletcher will actually have consequences later in the game, but you'll see. Yeah, but Kava's here now, and he's pretty low, so I'm gonna shoot at him. And as you saw earlier, there's a sap salvo that was from Lepanto, but luckily I slowed down just in time so he didn't nuke me out. So yeah, that's called intuition right there. And as you can see, this shell is actually pretty high. So since Kava is a pretty fast ship, even at 6 km, I have to actually lead quite a bit in order to make sure I actually hit my shells, because American shell works. And now that Kava's stuck in the island though, it's much easier to hit him. And now they're me or Austin will finish. Yep, I got him off. I killed him. So now that all the other 2 destroyers are not around, I can actually get this cap finally, and I'm gonna launch some torpedoes at the Incomp and the Lepanto, and we'll see what happens. And I think that smoke there is actually the Sea Devil, so I'm gonna use radar, and there's the Sea Devil. So might as well fight this guy because it's a Shima, and I always love bullying Shimas. And this guy's a run up, so I'm sure they're good at the game, right?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I don't know. But I'm pretty confident in my torpedo dodging ability. Against this guy anyways. You'll see what happens later in the game. And as you can see, there goes some torpedoes. 9 torpedo hits, 1 flood. I'm up to 74k already. That's pretty cool. And yeah. So now that Sea Devil like slowing down, not firing the guns. Yeah, I just see they launch torpedoes. So I just slow down, turn in, and they miss their torpedo. Sea Devil's firing AP, which is like surprising for a Shima player, but I guess they're run out for a reason, right? But they died to my guns because I had 2 other destroyers backing me up. So now I'm just gonna go back into A cap to get it back. And yeah, there's a smoke there. I'm not sure if that's Fletcher's or my teammates, but actually might be Fletcher's. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where the Fletcher is. Yeah, but that smoke up there, what I was looking at earlier, is the Lepanto because field smoke. So I'm just gonna try to get closer to the Lepanto smoke, so I can stealth torp them once they come out of their smoke, and get more damage. There's Lepanto, and it looks like they're moving forward, so I'm gonna lead like pretty far forward because I think they're running away at this point because they're like low health. So if I was a Lepanto, I saw the Somers and this other destroyer opening up, I would definitely like run away. A smaller than Somers opening up, I'd definitely run away. So yeah, and there's a notification. Don't worry about that. So me and my team is all launch torpedoes at this guy. There's torpedo soup heading for him. Luckily, I was the second fastest torpedoes here, so I can actually get the kill here. Yeah, and unlucky Somers, you didn't get the kill. So now I'm at 100k already, and 16 torpedo hits. So that's actually pretty good. And here's the Fletcher that we didn't kill earlier. So Fletcher should be light work. So I open up my guns, and I actually crashed in the Duncan here. So I thought the Duncan would block the torpedoes for me, but they're going full speed forward. And I should have slowed down to go backwards here. But then I just get hit by 4 torpedoes and I die. But right before that, I kill the Fletcher, get a Kraken. And the Fletcher ends up killing me and the Duncan. So they get a Kraken Slayer because they just got me. Yeah. But I'm pretty confident in my torpedo dodging ability. And Vengeance and Double Strike and Counter Slayer. So at this point, this game is definitely won. We have all 3 caps. And we're just waiting for my teammates to finish off the enemies here. And yeah. We got the Lepanto here at half health sitting in the cap. Here's a cruiser. And we got our Smaller and our Sombras here rushing the battleship. And Sombras just ate like all the small torpedoes. So W teammate, I guess. And the Worcester here is at pretty low health. So income should go down relatively soon because he's literally just getting farmed up by Sombras and small guns. Not even the torpedoes. Oh, 1 small torpedo hit. And there goes the income. So now let's look at the game. It's just the Venezia left, I think. Yeah. And they're fighting our Lepanto and our Worcester. So Venezia's at half health. This should be pretty easy for these guys because it's a 2v1. Even though Worcester's low and Lepanto's at like a 3rd health. So yeah, overall the Yueyang, I think it's a pretty fun ship because I don't have the Shima. So being able to nuke out stuff occasionally is pretty fun. But I think if I got the Shima, I'd probably be like really bored or frustrated because, well, that thing's a one-trick pony. All you can do is nuke out battleships. But even with Yueyang here, even if you do miss your torpedoes, you can still have a pretty decent game with your guns. Or, as long as you torpedo like one thing, you can have a pretty decent game. Because your guns actually do a lot of damage. Or can do a lot of damage. So don't be afraid to use your guns in the Yueyang. Especially like fighting like Shimas and other destroyers. Because against non-gunboat destroyers, you're definitely gonna... Or against a Shima, you definitely win. Or like Sea Devils and those stuff. So yeah. So overall the Yueyang, the grind, I found it pretty fun. And especially the Chungmu, I thought it was like a tier 9 like a Fletcher, which would be pretty bad, which is like pretty bad these days. But the Chungmu was actually pretty fun, especially with the torpedo reload. And yeah, there's the MVP with a Kraken and 103k. Pretty good for like somewhere within my first 10 games of the Yueyang. And yeah, I got some good battle medals. 62k with torpedoes, 16 hits. Only 900 flooding damage surprisingly, because I didn't get any perma floods. As you can see from my team, we didn't do that much damage, but the enemy team didn't do that well either. Yeah. Actually, the Venezia and the Incom did pretty well, but the Kava, Lepanto, and Yodo. Yeah. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you're interested in like a more functional Shima with more versatility, I suggest getting the Yueyang. Otherwise, thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.